Welcome to Musician Metaphysics. My guest today is the one and only Billy Everything Ebeling. Our paths converged initially in 2019 at the lively locale of Knuckleheads, the backdrop of the weekly jam hosted by Billy. His introductory remark to me was humorously brazen and from the stage, an incident that ignited a bond between us. Since then, we've become comrades in guitars and music. Billy isn't just a prodigious virtuoso, with prowess spanning multiple instruments from harmonica to the piano, accordion, and guitar. He's also one of the most committed, relentless artists I've ever been fortunate enough to acquaint myself with. In our conversation, we delve into the peaks and valleys of performing, moments of unadulterated ecstasy that render the grueling efforts worthwhile, the enchantment intrinsic to crafting songs, and a plethora of other engaging topics. So ease into your seat, unwind, and brace yourself for an immersive expedition into the life and times of the one and only Billy Everything Ebeling.
I got nothing but time for bullshit, kids. Yes. You know what? I just have an extra belt.
Yeah?
Because I like the color.
All right. Well, I got to give you the same lecture I gave everybody else.
Don't touch the microphone?
No. Oh, no. You can touch it all you want. I want you to make love to it. I want you to make sure you're right, you're in that mic. To me, this is just getting to know, so you know that you're not alone. And you think, when you hear somebody out loud saying the thing that you're thinking, it kind of helps you to be like, oh, okay, I'm not fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, maybe a little. Maybe they're both.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you're just as nuts as the other person.
Well, sure. And there's comfort in that as well. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Billy Everything Ebeling, his Christian name.
I like that moniker that you gave me.
Yeah?
Everything.
Well, it's fucking true, man. You can cuss on this too. I didn't.
Oh no,
okay.
not me.
No, I've never heard Billy say a curse word in my life. I don't
Nope.
think. No, but I do famously tell the story of my first time at your jam, which was really the introduction to my life here, and that was, you don't need those from the mic. But I was holding my amp and my shit right when I walked in, man.
Well, didn't you have all your pedals on a digital?
Yeah, I had
format?
a bunch of dumb shit.
Like I didn't know. Basically, I didn't know how to hook that up, so I was trying to shy you away from it because, I don't know what that's.
Oh, dude,
I don't know how to do that.
I cannot tell you how formative my time, there was a time I was there every Saturday, and I knew I was doing good when you'd leave. You'd put me on a stage and go somewhere. I don't know what you were doing. You're taking a break, but you didn't have to worry about it or something, I guess.
Well, I knew that you had it under control, and you could run the songs, and I'd be in capable hands, and it would be good for me to come off stage for some point between 12:30 and 5.
Yeah. Well, it was always I really appreciated it because it helped me to get back into being okay.
And I always liked your guitar sound so much that I wanted to sound like what are those pickups?
Yeah.
So I got me some FC pickups.
Yeah, he wanted to A/B our guitars after one jam, and I was like, what? So we plugged them both straight in. I'm talking about my Strat, my white Strat. And it was obvious
with the Texas pickups.
The
what are they called?
Texas Specials.
Uh-huh.
And it was obvious which guitar sounded better. So,
I know, but a lot of times it's the guy. People think if I have the same gear that person plays through, that I'm gonna sound like that. But
maybe sonically,
it's no, it's not, man. Because some of it's in the person.
Oh, I would say a lot of it's in the person, but if you're going you just think the gear is going to make you sound good.
Can't hurt, though.
Yeah. Well, no, it can't hurt at all. Just like compute power, I'm doing a lot of this. I'm trying to build a language model that has the entire context of my life. Like I'm feeding it about 13 years of Facebook posts, likes, comments. I'm feeding it all my papers that I wrote for my communications degree, and I'm feeding it all my papers for my master's degree, and then all this stuff that I'm writing lately, and I'm going to use it to help me write a book, this book I've been working on. So
feed it in and it writes a book and you just
Well,
sign
no,
it and go.
I don't want it to write it, but I want to be able to give it a task about like I want you to go reference this time period in my life, and I want you to tell me what was going on. Like, what was I saying? What was I, and so it can help me form it in a cohesive way.
I have an expired passport for that. Where was I? Oh, here.
Right.
I have no recollection
Well,
of the past.
I mean more of a mental state.
Yeah.
Not just where was I in the world. Like, I've, hey, this isn't about me anyway. We're just talking about you. Billy used to have an afro.
Speaking of expired passports.
Let's hear the afro story.
Man, all the things that I thought we'd talk about, I didn't think hair was going to be up there.
Well, because that hair will bring into the context like where you came from, where you were, right?
Well, I was a hippie or wannabe hippie with a scruffy little beard.
Oh, you were
baggy clothes and playing on the street, and I had the pick for the afro to kind of fluff it up.
Can you guys just see that right now? You can just visualize that.
It goes in your back pocket with the little.
Now, did you knew John Paul and them back then, didn't you? Yeah.
Yep.
I've been hearing stories from. This is what I had Tilney on, and we had talked about. They didn't necessarily. They weren't hanging out with you, but they ran around you a lot, or something like that.
And me and Keith, Mallory, the drummer, we shared a house.
How long were you guys living together?
Not that long.
Yeah. Is he hard to live with?
Yeah, he's horrible.
He's always praying for you and stuff.
Actually, I don't remember button heads at all. I think it was just kind of we didn't live together that long, I don't think, but I knew he was a drummer and we kind of played a little bit.
Well, that's cool.
Lawrence was a good music scene.
Dude. Actually, I've got Keith's doing 2 gigs with me at actually.
I know, because I tried to hire him and he was booked both times. So thanks a lot, Fletch.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, drummers. I had a drummer thing. I'm not going to talk about online.
Okay.
But it's like,
You like Spinal Tap?
Yeah. 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 Well, that should be a shirt. That's such a drummer thing to do.
Yeah. What, spontaneously combust?
Yeah, or nobody. It's funny because maybe you can talk about this, about how sometimes it's hard to find people that understand the big picture of, like, you're booking all the gigs, you're talking to all these people. Sometimes your money's already gone before you've even paid your band. These are things that I just the average gun for hire I don't think really thinks about. What I mean?
No, and I get in on those conversations, and I hear their side of it, and I have my side. It's like there's got to be somewhere in the middle.
Sure, of course there is, and I think all that is just.
As long as they come to my side, then I'll hire them again.
Yeah. If you just say yes, and do what I say, and then I'll keep hiring. I don't. I mean, you want a little bit of friction. I like to be able to, like, when I record, I tell the guys, like, look, this is what where I'm going, but be you. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my style if I have to hire. I'm trying right now to really get a solid group, and that's hard to do.
I lost a band member when it got recorded and I didn't like it, and I had somebody else redo it, and then that was the last that man. And I told him at a gig, and I knew it wasn't going to go good, so I waited till the last break, and I knew he wouldn't like it.
You are the father.
And then every song he'd start to take a cymbal down and start packing up so he could get But,
yeah,
but it's my record, and I want it to sound a certain way, and it's just like
that's actually kind of proving, well, not proving, but adding to the point that it's a big picture thing, and I think a lot of times, I don't know, the closer that I get to people that I play with, the more we can have those discussions and still,
without hurting their feelings.
yeah, without being, you know.
Because I've had it happen to me. Well, the people wanted it apart, and I played it, and they didn't use it because
Eventually, my goal in life, you know, and I'm gonna be able to do it pretty soon because of this commercial real estate thing that's getting ready to hit the country, but is find an old hangar, an old warehouse, you know, and got it, put a sound stage in it, and a studio.
Maybe a church.
No churches.
Too close to God, and just you want to get smoked.
Well, I mean, we can dive right into that if you would like to.
No,
I'd kind of like to hear a little more about how you came across an ocean to get here.
No, I'm from here.
Well, okay, well then you left and lived overseas for a while, didn't you? Like Tasmania or something like that?
12 years in New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
I don't like winter.
Oh yes, that's right. I remember having this conversation.
And I wanted to go somewhere that wasn't third world so much, like Mexico, or I'd spent some time in Costa Rica, and then went over to Australia and New Zealand, and the music was pretty good, and you know.
Yeah.
I had a regular gig at this hotel.
So you always had people that thought you were amazing every night.
Oh no.
No?
Not everybody. Some, just enough, but not everybody's going to like you.
Well, sure, but if you're at a hotel, you know you got a new audience a lot.
Well, it was a small town.
Oh, okay.
And a little tourist destination.
So that's where the alcoholics lived.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, I tried not drinking, and you're like, it was just, they could not understand that concept.
Really?
Like fake beer, like, you know, that non-alcoholic beer.
Near beer, that's what we call it.
What's the point?
Well, it's just
anyway, that's how.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a cool gig in the Barrier Reef, and I wouldn't wear shoes, and I lived upstairs, and you can see the boats coming in, and
that's where you were honing your skill, man. Like,
no,
is that where you're doing the tambourine, the foot tambourine?
I honed my skill on the street, playing on the street corners.
Yeah? Talk about that.
In Europe and across the States and every country I went to.
So how did you fund these tours? You just went
by playing, opening up, go to the busiest place that you can think of at the busiest time, and open up your case and just start playing and play for tips.
See, it's funny. The only time I ever did anything like that was Fisherman's Wharf. And it was a church thing, you know, and I was singing gospel stuff. And it was funny, though, because people threw money at it.
Well, see, so the first time I ever played was in Phoenix, that I realized about busking.
Yeah.
And I saw this guy playing fiddle. I go, people are throwing him money. And I was a bad construction worker that was just about ready to get fired because I was no good. And I went out on this art fair and made the same money I was making for the week at the construction job. And so I go, I'll just do that. And then we read in the paper about how San Francisco, they were making like $300 an hour. And so me and a juggler friend went out and we played. And I think I played all day for about $2.50 and some crackers. And
that's a sentence I never thought I would hear.
What?
Me and my juggler friend.
Oh, yeah. Jugglers have friends? They don't have friends. But I did see when you get on the trolley at Fisherman's Wharf or in San Francisco.
I love San Francisco.
We heard this cool killer band. There's a big crowd, and you know, we'd been playing all day and to no money really.
Yeah.
And there was a guy playing guitar, and he was playing dobro style electric guitar with the strings facing up.
Yeah.
He was missing his left hand, and on his left hand he had a
metal slide or something?
A metal slide on a terry cloth cover.
Hell yeah.
And he was missing all but 2 fingers on this hand, and he played with a pick, and his nickname was Fingers.
Of course.
And mean blues, and I just I could just throw my guitar in the bay because this guy's. But it also told me it's like, well, if if you ever hurt your fingers, you could just
Hey man,
play like that.
I was just thinking,
He didn't
that's
give
some
up.
amazing. Yeah, he did not give up. That's
Yeah.
amazing resilience.
I know. I was impressed.
Yeah, dude, and that's hard. You know, I've come to this. Dio, hey, we're trying to talk here. We don't need you licking up. Thank you.
Don't say that and edit it like you're saying it to me.
Oh no, dude, he speaks English, man.
No.
I'll tell you a story about him a little bit, but for me, that is like the hardest thing, especially about being any kind of an artist, is like the only way that this is what I'm coming to believe anyway, like especially now that I'm getting into doing all this digital art and these digital things, that like you can't ever stop creating it. You know what I mean? Like if you stop creating it, it like goes away. Like it not necessarily goes away, but there's been times in my life where I just kind of gave up on it, you know, but I knew it was it's like the only thing I feel like a person doing, you know? And if I give up on it, like, I don't know. Does that make sense at all?
That doesn't happen for me. I kind of go in spurts.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a dry spell, like say songwriting, and think, well, I guess I wrote my last song.
There's no way, Billy. You'll be writing. You write like I don't know, dude. You're a songwriting mother.
I know, but someday you're gonna run out or not be good. Anyway, in my back of my head, I think that's it, and then I'll have something where I'm not motivated or I don't have inspiration, and then I'm dry for a while, and then I'll get a spurt.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I kind of get like that. Maybe I guess
it's got to be different for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's like I don't ever stop, you know, but it's like I don't stop giving it that importance. Does that make sense?
No.
Like I'm not making it like my priority.
Oh.
So
well, you got to live your life, and there's other stuff.
Yeah.
That's like you got to do before you can.
I know.
Get back and do those other things.
It's true, and you know, right now I'm in a time in my life where I'm through, you know, crap that happened to me in the past. You know, I'm pretty much okay, but I realize that the government is not going to be there for very much longer. You know, so I mean, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom or anything, but I mean, look around. This is we're keen for revolution or some kind of thing, because you know you have foreign friends will come, you know, or I'll talk to them, or they'll have gone to somewhere else in the United States and be like, this looks exactly like what happened. You know, all the politicians are shoving their pockets full of money in the roads, and bridges are falling apart, and you know nothing's getting done. It's the beginning of the end, you know. So I don't know.
It's always been like that, I think.
Really? Well, that's comforting to know then.
Yeah. It's always been on the edge of collapse.
I guess, yeah, right. They've always
might as
been,
well just get used to
yeah,
it.
ever since Jesus left, they've always been going, yeah, he's coming back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know. I guess that's kind of what this podcast is, man. It's kind of like me being able to bounce shit off other people that are not only musicians but are thinkers. You know, you have a dry sense of humor, but I know you think about shit. You know, like even the stuff that you do on stage at the Jam is calculated.
Well, I mean, you're right, because you know I'm kind of diplomatic, but
yeah.
What do you like? What you know me?
Yeah. Well,
you got it, for instance.
Well, yeah. I don't want to use any names or do anything. You know, there's a certain type of person that will come to a jam that will have a bunch of songs in their hand or something, or you know, or it's constant when they, you know, whenever they do get up there, they don't follow or do anything with the band. They just do their thing, and they're all over, you know. And I've seen you very calculatedly, if that's a word, calculatedly, nudge them off the stage.
Well, I try and if I have my tricks, but you know, I try and give everybody a chance in the.
Oh yeah,
in
no,
the,
you totally do that.
in the
You totally
sunshine
100% do
and
that. But
with
you're a
that being-
master. You're a fucking master of taking the bad apples and getting them through quickly. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm,
Not, and I don't want to call people bad apples.
Yeah.
I just mean because you have a crowd there too, dude. Every time
Yeah.
I've gone to your jam, it's packed. You know, and that's got to be kind of a hard wave to wrangle too. You know.
yeah. Well, maybe we're what's keeping them off the sniper tower. We got to treat them with respect and.
That's the slogan, man. That's
You know, they.
I
I try and
do.
be compassionate a little more than I was before.
Sure. I think that's it. I always tell people, number one, it takes balls to get on the stage, period. To get
Yeah.
up there and do anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
It's not easy. Just
No.
people that have done it make it look easy,
Sure,
but it's
yeah.
not easy.
Yeah. It's
That's
not.
That's why we get paid to do it because
Yeah.
other people, it's not as easy as it looks.
And I think more often than not, it's the people that think they're going to make it easy that really have the most problem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the whole ego. It's all about ego, man. And
Well, you got to have an ego to get up there and go.
You do.
That people are going to like my crap
Yeah.
that I'm going to spew out here.
Sure, but not like the ego like Quincy Jones, you know. He says ego's just an insecurity dressed up. You know, like
Mm.
you have some swagger, but
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it's a
gotta have
balance.
You got to have a little
Balance.
bit
Yeah, it's a
of
balance.
belief in yourself that I can get up and do this.
I can make any white pearl snap look good.
I know. Yeah, thanks. As per request.
Hey, man, that's Billy Ebeling.
Well, that's what started me on busking because I saw a guy busking and go, I can do that.
Well, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Van Halen didn't come out tapping. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's what always
There you go.
kept me going on guitar playing. But dude, I can tell you 100% that I would not be the kind of guitar player I am today without that jam,
All
without
right.
going there, and without the Sunday jams as well. Like, you know, it's cool. We were talking about the dichotomy between what it's like on Saturday and what it's like on Sunday. You know, it's like Saturday for me is like being a rock god coming in. You know, and Sunday it's just like you're not really gonna get noticed unless you do something amazing or you really do something bad. Other than that, you know, everybody's just having fun. That's kind of the difference,
Huh.
you know. Because I think I don't know. But it's great. It's great because it makes Knuckleheads this mecca of people, and there's a lot of talent that comes out of there. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I came out. I'm a self-hater, you know. Are you a self-hater? You deal with that at all? No?
No.
You got a good...
I play accordion and banjo.
You do?
It's like,
You-
go
well,
ahead.
Well!
Yeah, that you gotta, like, go ahead, try and
Yeah, the subtle
try
art.
and ding my armor.
subtle
I
art
play
of not giving a
banjo and
fuck.
accordion.
Dude, and you do it well, too, man.
Yeah.
That time we were out there for Jack's Jam, that was a lot of fun, man. When you jam for Jack, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Yeah. Dude, you rock that accordion, man. You rock the lap steel, you rock guitar, you rock the harpsichord, you probably got a recorder that you can bust out. You've got everything. Harmonica, Hammond, play piano. I mean, seriously, you're a...
If it makes you feel better, this is what I tell people so they do feel better. Like, I can't play fiddle or any of the horns or...
Yeah, well,
So-
it's not about feeling better. It's just, it's inspiring to keep learning. Obviously, you didn't just download that shit. You had to work at all of it.
Some hours on each of those things. But when people say, I tried music, like I tried fiddle, and every 5 years I'd get it out from under the bed, and then it'd sound off. Yeah, and like bad kitty, put it back under the bed, and then 5 years later, and after about 20 years, I gave it up. But what if that would have been my one and only entry into the music?
Right.
And go, well, I like music. I think I got an aptitude,
Sure.
and I got the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And I suck at this, and no matter how much I could have had some lessons maybe, but
Yeah.
it wasn't the thing for me.
Sure.
And
Something clicks.
so that's what
Yeah.
I tell people that are disappointed in their own musical journey
Sure.
that maybe you just got the wrong thing. Maybe the triangle would be your thing.
Or anybody can play a rain stick.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, you can do the nice little soothing sounds.
There you go.
Anybody.
Oh,
can
there's
do
Rain
that.
Man.
You know, you're a polymath of instruments. How about that one?
Okay.
It's my new. I'm trying to be a polymath in life. I want to learn a lot of different things.
That sounds like algebra,
no,
geometry.
it comes from
a lot of math.
It comes from the early Greek. A polymath. Math didn't even mean math. It meant learning. You know, so poly, many learnings. So that's why, like, right now I'm real into, and this is kind of how I do. I've decided to do recording and music. Like I've been recording since January 2nd. You know, I was in the studio, and that kind of thing comes in waves. The finish, you know what I mean? Like getting it all together. I have to be in a right mood. You know, I've decided that anything artistic in my life, I go in these. It's like I have a beam, and I'm gonna be okay. Right now, I'm gonna focus on this music part. Right now, I'm gonna focus on this art part. Right now, you know, now because of AI, I'm being able to focus on developing whole, NFT marketplaces and stuff, which is gonna be the big thing next. You know, when Web3 gets in every house and everybody's using a crypto wallet, which is coming soon.
You know, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's all right. I won't talk about it for long. Well, I'm learning a lot, and it's really important.
What about, like, if you're on something recording, can you lay that down and then go do something else and come back to it? Because I can't. I have to.
Yeah, I can.
I have to go all the way, stick with the
Balls
one
to the
thing,
wall. Yeah.
and then when that's off my mind, then I can open it up to something else. But I can't have all these plates spinning.
Well, I can and will do that, say, if I'm recording it on my own, like I'm doing it myself. And it's just this thing that I got to do, then I'll do that. But like if I'm doing the records like down at Weights and Measures, you know, he's so full all the time. It's like, you know, you're going in once a month, you know. So but it's a totally different way of recording, and I really enjoy it. Like I have a lot of fun just getting all the guys there and seeing what happens. But I'm learning that costs too much money.
I don't enjoy it at all.
I know. Yeah. So on Oceans, on my last record, Billy, I heard the steel part in it, and I was trying to get him to come to the studio, and he wouldn't do it. He said, "Fuck you, Fletch. Fuck your record. Fuck everything." So he didn't say it. He just asked me to send it to him, and he did it on his own. It's great.
Because I can't do it I can't make my voicemail recording in one take. My incoming message.
Really?
No, I got.
Are you kind of a perfectionist, Billy?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but I don't want to be in the studio and have the pressure.
I get you.
To perform, and then I think about screwing it up, and then I screw it up because I'm thinking about it.
I got you. No, I know exactly what you mean.
And I don't enjoy that part of the.
Well, I guess then that's wisdom. Then you're right from your life.
Yeah,
you've realized.
Yeah, but I was better off not knowing. The earlier records, we could just go in, bang it all out. Sounds good. Let's go. We tried to do a whole album.
After.
We had a. Man, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We tried to do a whole album in a session.
Man.
Went in, recorded the songs, and expected them to mix it all and give us the.
Dang.
That was like the second album, and I think the first album did in maybe 2 days or something.
Man, and your albums too. You always got a lot of tracks, man.
Yeah.
I've started. Let's see, which one did I start listening to? The one with the hills on it. The one you started, made in 2020.
The Hold Up the Sky.
Yeah, and it had the Alligator Girl wasn't on that one. That was on the next one. Right? Yeah. But yeah, you got a lot of tunes, and a lot of good tunes though too, man.
Thank you.
And I'm not exactly sure how you're recording it, but it sounds good. It sounds great.
Well, half of the Burn Ends album was done in a studio, and we paid some money to.
Yeah.
And then the other half was I recorded myself, and then it was mastered, and then we compared the two. It's like it
Yeah.
really wasn't worth the extra money to go in the studio.
And you couldn't tell listening to the
No.
record, from that was my concern on the album I'm working on now. It's called Simply Abstract. And it's a lot of different stuff. I'm going to release a single, this instrumental single. It's the only instrumental I've ever done, but it was really cool. It's got this cool thing. You can listen for it if you want, if you remember, but I did the guitar solo in one track, and I play a slide part, and you can hear, because I was trying to be real quick, taking my slide off. I had a ceramic slide. You can hear it bust into pieces on the floor.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you captured the end of its life.
Yeah. But it's cool, and that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone in and did it with Dwayne.
Mhm.
And Dwayne, man, if you ever go somewhere, you need to go to Weights and Measures, because the guy, he charges very reasonable, and he has some of the best gear. I mean, state of the art gear, and his place is amazing.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's great. Next time I'm in there, I'm gonna get you to come. You don't have to play. You can bring something,
Yeah.
and if you feel like it, You know what I do with Aiden is, because he's kind of like that, is when I go to do the vocals or something like that, I just let him track whatever he wants to track while I'm doing the vocals.
Mm.
So,
I don't know. You would think the more you do it, the better you would get at doing it, but it seems the opposite to
each
me.
thing is each one's alive, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It can be really stressful though too.
Fun isn't the word I would use.
No. What is fun for you, Millie?
Playing live is fun.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That's fun.
Is that like just that's why you do it? Because that's kind of what drives you.
I think so. I think there's something when you're just like meditative about, when you're just thinking about one thing and you kind of go to some other place with music.
Yeah.
That you can't get any other
Totally.
way that I know.
Yeah, no, there's something for the live chi, or whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
Like,
or even just playing at home.
Sure.
You get lost in your own little world, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that with anything else. So, and I get paid for it. So
Yeah,
there's that.
dude, and you're great at it. So every time I've seen you, it's been great. Now, I mean, when I was
Can't be great all the time.
When I first came in on the scene, and I was running the bar out there, I remember I had you out.
Yeah.
And you were nothing short of wonderful. So all you people that talk shit about Billy all the time, he's really a good guy.
Go ahead. I play accordion and banjo. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Talk away.
Guy's such an asshole, man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody thinks you're an asshole. Well, I'm sure somebody.
Oh yeah.
thinks
Oh,
you're an
there's got to
asshole.
be. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mister thinks he's so funny with his accordion jokes. I don't know.
I
have
love
no
your
idea.
jokes, dude.
I never. I like to see how people perceive. the
Yeah.
Same things that you.
I tell
Nobody can like all of it.
I tell some jokes sometimes in my banter, but one of them is I'll always start it with, "You guys want to hear an inappropriate joke?" And you always get, "Yeah," and it's "How do you find a blind guy at an orgy?" It ain't hard. It's kind of a joke that you would tell, I think.
Yeah.
That's your kind of humor.
Yeah. Some of the jokes don't always go over. so
No,
good.
but who cares? It's just like getting on stage. It's like one of these days I want to try stand-up comedy. I like.
Well, I think I could be funny for 10 minutes, but I don't know if I could be funny on demand.
Really? I think
To
you
have
could.
it, to have the routine. But
And do you do, like, a lot of times at parties? I used to do the whole because I'm good at just making words up a lot. Like sometimes I do this thing with the Grateful Dead song "Fire on the Mountain."
mhm.
I play and I'll sing the first verse like it's meant to be, and then the rest of the song I just make up,
Yeah.
and nobody ever says a word.
Oh yeah, that's a live version at the Winter Garden.
Yeah.
68.
Yeah, or I mean there have been times where I've sang something, played something with a band, and it will never get sang or played again. You know, like something that's just really cool. That is what you're talking about for me. Like that's, I get lost in it. It's like
Yeah.
I'm just, the music is controlling me, kind of thing. Not, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
but I don't want people to get all weird, and we're not talking about satanic inviting demons in or anything. Well, that's later.
Well, who knows if they're a good witch or a bad witch? Come on in. I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah,
I'll write a song about it, and then you get out.
Yeah. Well, so how has spirituality or anything like that helped you in life? Or are you a strictly materialist kind of? And I don't mean materialist as in buying things all the time. I mean like matter, you know.
No, I don't know that I don't really think about things that much. I just kind of let things come my way.
You don't think about death or anything like that at all?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah. So what do you think happens after death?
Well, I guess, I've just said I wasn't spiritual, but I did have a vision that my great grandma was there to take me to the other side.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was going to say I'm not, but I guess I am.
Yeah.
But I don't.
You're not a religious person, as in standardized religion, Christianity, Islam, or anything like that. Gotcha. But I would think that you probably have some kind of ethos that you live by. I'm sure. Like you think I've never heard anyone call you a thief or say that you're dishonest, or. And I've never experienced.
But
anything
you didn't
like that.
know Tequila Billy.
Oh yeah.
But now Tequila Billy,
yeah.
he was a different story. I like to separate myself.
Gotcha.
From Tequila Billy and
Tequila Fletch went to the brig on the night before I was deployed to Afghanistan because I was double fisting Patron, and at the end of the night I was holding my wallet out to bouncers, begging them to try and take it. You know. So I get the tequila. Yeah. Let's hear a Tequila Billy story.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, he was not very compassionate or caring. He was pretty selfish and would just do whatever the hell he wanted to do, but usually involved tits and
right. Inappropriate.
Yeah.
Sexual. Affronts.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
Were you doing the Jim Morrison stuff on stage or something like
that? No, I kept my clothes on stage, but it wasn't good. And trying to be more compassionate now.
Sure.
Better. Yeah. I quit drinking in Tequila Billy died in 2008.
Well, congrats, man. It's not hard, dude. Let's see. I'll be 2 years in November, but this has been the most productive year and a half I've ever had.
Think of all the money you're saving.
Yeah, dude. And all the stuff I've always had all these thoughts and these things, like I said, I'm working on a book and working on.
It's hard to sit in the bar 6 hours or 8 hours if you're not drinking.
Yeah.
First half an hour, like this is good, and then the conversation's.
And I used to think that I needed it to be a good musician. It's totally false.
Well, people like to come and watch Tequila Billy just to see if they would come off the rails.
Right.
So I had a better audience then, but.
Well, shoot, man. You're pretty much like you've got like locked in weekly gigs all over town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do and to keep. Right? Like,
well, yeah, you can really screw up or piss somebody off. Or
how have you developed that? Is there any kind
I show up?
Advice? Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
good one.
cancel.
That's a good one, right?
I don't cancel because I got a better gig. I still do. I look forward to the gigs, and
Yeah.
I try not to take it for granted.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and play some of these.
Theo. Stay down.
I'll play some of these gigs and pull up and go, I'm thankful I have this gig and be able to play. And, we'll be on Knuckleheads stage and think this is great, but,
it could be gone in any second. Yeah. I remember the first time I sat at Frank's table and felt like it was okay. So I just got off stage or something, or I was there with Levittown early on the, and hanging out. whenever I got to know Jan and stuff. I remember it was packed, and all my friend, Jack and other guys were around, and I just remember looking around and going, "Don't fuck this up, Fletch."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm one of those. I used to be one of those self-sabotaging alcoholics.
Yeah.
Like I was pretty good about not sabotaging it when I came on the scene here, because I knew it was a big problem, and I took steps to make sure I wasn't drunk ever at a performance or something. But now after all that, it's a totally different story.
Yeah. Well, you've acclimated pretty well to Kansas City.
Thank you, man.
You've been a good part to
I
addition.
appreciate that. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I just have this like weird I don't know what you want to call it, intuition, whatever. I just want to be able to help people out of like being stuck in a horrible religion, being any kind of dogma that we've had to live under for like ever. Seems like, I just feel like that's just what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna keep kind of doing that. And I thought a podcast with other musicians and people that going through the same kind of stuff, that if it can help somebody, I don't care if it helps one person, it's worth it to me. You know what I mean?
I always like to hear the other stories of musicians, even if it's not my genre.
Sure.
Because it's all relatable.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a language, music,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And all the same stuff, gigs and disappointments and
Gigs,
successes.
like gigging, man.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing, man. Especially if when you're trying to get gigs in a big city like this. You get, you've been doing it way longer than me. I'd love if you have any hacks. Are there any get gigs quick hacks?
Well, no. To me, I like going in person and meeting and face to face. But the digital sending
the EPK
something
and all that,
to somebody and hope they look at it and like it.
Right.
I just didn't have as much success because it's just another one in the pile.
Sure.
I'm better at talking to somebody in person, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think probably the best thing is a little bit of both nowadays.
Well, and if you have the presence, and then you can send them, but without some kind of physical.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I always like to judge the body language of the person I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
You start talking to them about money, and they start closing their arms.
Yeah, you're gonna get
and looking at their watch. It's like, you better change subjects because this ain't going so good for you. Little things like that.
Yeah.
Being able to read people
and not freaking out, I think, is a good thing for people to understand
just
about
jump up
gigs.
And down, take your shirt off, and start.
Or like
drooling.
when a owner, asks you to turn down for the.
Oh yeah.
Just stuff like that. I've seen people lose their cool over things that don't need to be.
Yeah.
And then the gigs are gone, and those things, bad news or bad shit spreads like wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff, like you did a good job, you were cordial,
takes a lot longer.
Takes a lot longer. Yes, takes a lot longer, man. Well, dude, I know you got places to be and stuff, but
well, thanks for inviting me into your home.
Yeah,
and
man.
What a cool spot. And
well, thanks, dude.
maybe we can play some music together.
Dude, we're gonna play music. Really, it's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna be called East Side Collective. I made that up. No, actually, it was Jack. East Side Collective, and get everybody together when the time is right and write something, like write an album together. Just do it. That would be amazing.
I thought that it was a good idea that you had, and I tried to run with it, and I bombed.
On what?
I tried to collaborate more with people.
Uh-huh.
And it really bombed.
Yeah,
sucked.
Well, what people did you? Was it the people, or was it just didn't?
No, I had good musicians, and it's like it just
didn't work.
Because I always done it myself.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe I should open it up, and it would be, Lennon,
hey,
McCartney or something.
Don't fuck up your shit because of some dumb thing I said.
No, I liked your idea. I thought it was a good idea for you.
Yeah,
but not for me.
Gotcha. Hey, man, it's true. It's just like different people how they record, different people how they do a gig.
Well, I thought it would feed off, and then we'd do something
Sure.
and do something, but it didn't happen.
Well, maybe just wasn't.
But it still could happen.
Yeah. I think even getting something like that together and doing a show would be a lot of fun and doing it live. I don't know. It's just such a good city, and it's a good time, I think, right now to really be thinking about all that stuff because World Cup's coming here. There's going to be a lot of eyes on Kansas City the next few years. So anyway, well, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
I love
Fletch.
you. And I wanted to tell you real quickly, thank you. Like, really, thank you for giving me shit the moment I walked in the door at Knuckleheads. Thanks for, like, helping me, like, giving me advice along the way and all that shit. I'm not going to cry or anything because I don't want to have to beat anybody up.
You're crying a little bit now. I can see.
I
can see the glistening. It's okay.
Well, I love you. Dia loves you.
Right.
So thanks, man.
Thank you so much, man. I got to go to work.